Today I'm just going to be doing another library book haul because that's basically what this is. But I have quite a few books, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on every book. Also my hair is up because it was very messy. I didn't like cut it or anything, if that was important to you. But this first book, and this is the book that I am currently reading, is called South to America, A Journey Below the Mason-Dixon to Understand the Soul of a Nation by Amani Perry. And this book, I've only read like the first chapter, but I think it's really well written so far. It basically blends culture, race, history, geography, all to talk about the southern states. And it is nonfiction. I really like nonfiction, which I actually don't have. I think this might be no, this isn't the only, but I have mostly fiction today, actually. So then the next book is very, very, very popular. This is A Little Life by, oh my lord, I don't know how to pronounce the author's name. Hanya Yanagihara. And it has this weird cover, but it's a very large book. Roughly 700 pages. Also, I apologize if the cars sound a little bit louder than usual. It is snowing outside, so it's making them sound louder than they are. But this book is about, I honestly don't know. I just know that it's very, very highly rated. It's kind of, it seems to be one of those books that you either love or you absolutely hate. So I think that this will be an interesting read, especially because of the mixed reviews. And then this is Ruby Falls. And I can't tell who the author is. Deborah Goodrich Royce. And this is about an actress who basically had a troubled childhood, from what it seems. I give kind of wonky descriptions of these books, and it's not because I have no idea what they're about. It's just I don't want to give like the wrong description of a book. Sometimes I like mix up one plot with another, and I don't want to do that, so I want to be kind of vague. And then this one is like brand new. I'm actually the first person to have this copy from the library. But this is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. And Lucy Foley has written The Guest List and The Hunting Party, and I've read both of them and really enjoyed both of them. And I'm a little bit worried that this book will be very similar because those two books are very similar. They have a very like similar formula. But I'm looking forward to reading this, especially because it just came out. Yeah, this is a February book, or a February release. Sorry, that was a little confusing. I have a lot of really long books. This is The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson, and I think that this is about some sort of pandemic or epidemic that involves like rage. Like overwhelming rage in the people that are affected. Someone I know read this book and she didn't really like it, so I'm a little bit worried. But we did get it from the library at like the same time, and she just read it quicker than I did. And this is a pretty long book. It's like 500 pages. I'm also going away soon, so I don't really know when I'm gonna be able to read these books, because I don't think I'm bringing any with me, because it's a short, like 3-day trip. But I don't know, that's my poor planning. And then this one had the receipt, and because my library gives a receipt. This is an older book. This is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I don't want that to be loud. But it has this like textured cover. This is definitely an older copy. This book is also, well, no, this book isn't that long. It's like 300 pages. But I've been wanting to read pretty much all the books by the Bronte sisters and by Jane Austen, because before this year I had not read any Jane Austen, but then I read Pride and Prejudice. And for the Bronte sisters, I've read Wuthering Heights and then Jane Eyre. I think that's it. So I want to get their books read because they're so popular and like important to history. And plus it's International Women's Month, so is it international or is it just Women's Month? I know that it's International Women's Day, which was yesterday. So then this one is nonfiction. Oh, I have a few more nonfiction than I thought I did. This is The Trials of Nina McCall, Sex Surveillance and the Decades-Long Government Plan to Imprison Promiscuous, it's in quotes, women by Scott W. Stern. And I read the synopsis for this and it looked like it would be really interesting. I love nonfiction like this, where it covers a pretty niche topic. This is only like 270 pages. It looks kind of big, but it's mostly the bibliography. But this is definitely going to be interesting because it's basically about women who were committed to hospitals because they were thought to have STIs. Even though in the description of this it says that Nina McCall, who's like part of the overlying theme of the book, did not. So I think that this will be an interesting read. I really like reading about medical history, especially women's medical history, because it has been disastrous in the past. but I just find it an interesting subject. I like the sound. On to the next book, which is Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Roble. This is a fiction book. This book is basically about, what is her name? I think her name was Gypsy Rose. There was a Hulu series, like a fictional Hulu series that was based on the real life story about this girl whose mother convinced her that she was ill when there was nothing wrong with her, but it's like Munchausen's by proxy, I believe, where you pretend that your loved one or your child is sick to get attention and to always be receiving medical care even if they don't need it. But this is like a fictionalized version of that story. Like, it sounds almost word for word what it is. For the first 18 years of her life, Rose Gold Watts believed she was seriously ill. She was allergic to everything, used a wheelchair, and practically lived at the hospital. Neighbors did all they could, holding fundraisers and offering shoulders to cry on. But no matter how many doctors, tests, or surgeries, no one could figure out what was wrong with Rose Gold. Turns out her mom, Patty Watts, was just a really good liar. And then it goes on to say, like, this story kind of talks about the aftermath of her mom being imprisoned. Just some light reading, you know? And then this is another really popular book, which is why I checked it out. This is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mendel. And I've read The Glass Hotel by her, and I wasn't like the biggest fan of it. I didn't dislike the book, but it just wasn't like as good as I thought people said it was. But this is more of a I don't know if this is like an apocalyptic type. Oh, depicting life before and after the pandemic. Why do I have so many pandemic books? I'm subconsciously obsessed with the pandemic, I guess. I actually read The Stand by Stephen King like 5 months into the pandemic. And I'm really glad I read it after the pandemic already started, because I think if I had read it before and then the pandemic happened, I would have been like terrified. But The Stand is really good if you ever think about reading it. It is kind of like supernatural themes towards the middle and the end, and it is very long. I think it's like 100 pages, 1,000 pages, like 900, 1,000, but I think it was worth it. I sat down and I was like, I can't stop reading this. It was so good. But Station 11, I believe there's a show based on this now on some website, some streaming website. And then our last book is nonfiction, and this is called The Library Book, haha, by Susan Orlean. And this is about a fire that takes place at a library, at the LA Public Library. And basically histories of libraries. I don't know. I don't really know the plot of this book, but it just sounded good when I read it. on Goodreads. Like, the description on Goodreads looked really interesting. And that's the thing. I put books on my TBR, like my to read list, to be read list. And I kind of forget about them, and then I see them and I'm like, oh, I remember really wanting to read that. And then I go and like put it on hold or check it out from the library, and then I get the book and I'm like, I have no recollection of what this book is about. And then I do these videos and it's like I'm doing a presentation that I did not rehearse, but it's okay. But yeah, that's actually all that I have. I thought that would have taken longer to go through. I did say I wanted to go fast because I had a lot of books. I really like this cover. The gold and then the flame. Or it's a weird angle. The library book flame. But those are the books I have for today. Again, if you like these videos, let me know and I'll keep doing them. Otherwise, it's not really a point if nobody likes them. I mean, I get to sit down and look at books that are temporarily in my possession, so I don't know. I like filming these videos. I almost said filming these books. Also, my shirt is not on backwards. It's like a backless top, and I bought this when I weighed more, and so now it fits kind of awkwardly, but it's still comfortable, but it just like bunches in the front, and it looks weird, and I didn't say anything about it, so you probably think I am wearing my shirt backwards, and I'm not. But that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and a comment. Also let me know if you like my new setup where I'm here and not on the bed. I like filming here because I have more space and I'm not like awkwardly hunched over you. But the only thing is I can only really film here during the day. Don't ask why, because it's hard to explain, but that means we get background noise, but I don't think it shows up as much as I thought it did. Anyway, I'm just really rambling at this point, so